Yo, what's good? Big Z here, and today I'm going to show you one of the coolest things I think I've learned all year, and it's all about using randomization functions to come up with drum fills that you couldn't normally come up with by yourself. There's really no good way of explaining it, so I'm just going to show you right now how to do it. So this will sound better and better as I move along, so bear with me for a minute, but we're going to create an empty MIDI region. I want the fill just to be a bar long. And right now I'm just going to input one MIDI note and have it go for the length of the bar for now. But I don't want Serum. I'm going to put in Logic Sampler in here. I'm going to make sure it's on mono and the pitch bend range is on 12 semitones. And now is when I want to drag in some snare samples to start the fill. So I'm going to go over here and just go to a random sample pack that I have on my computer. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to use this one down here. I'm going to go to snares. So what I'm going to do is drag all of these snares into the sampler. So now all the snares are in here. We actually have some overlap because I think the max amount you can have is 127. So I'm just going to delete these. So now we have a snare for every single note on the keyboard. But that doesn't matter. That's not what I'm trying to show you. So I'm going to exit out of this. Hit save. I'll just call it snares. So now when I play it, it's just one snare sound. So I'm going to randomize that so it's a pattern and a certain rhythm, and the rhythm will change. And I'm also going to randomize it so different snares play as well. So first what I'm going to do is actually add a pitch bend in here to make it a little more interesting. So I'll just pitch bend it up throughout this bar. And now what I'm going to do is use the MIDI effects over here. I'm going to start with the arpeggiator, and I'll go down to this grid function, and there's all these presets here that you can scroll through. So it's using this arp function to make a certain rhythm on the snare. Like these are different velocities right here that you could change around if you want. But there's all these presets in here that you can just scroll through just to kind of get a basic rhythm down. So that sounds pretty cool. And what I can easily do from here is just change this MIDI note around. To different snares. But what I can also do is add this randomizer after this ARP function right here, and I can set it to note number. And what that will do is randomize which snare is playing. See how cool that sounds? It's completely randomizing which snare is playing every time, and it's coming up with drum fills that I would never be able to come up with myself. So all it's doing is playing this one singular note in the MIDI, and it's making all those different snare sounds in that rhythm. So let's make this into a full fill that I would actually use for a song. So I'm just going to shorten this, just so it's 3 quarter notes. I'm going to change the pitch bend so it ends right there on that last quarter note. Then I'll add some kind of clap or like hit at the end there. But what you can do so it's not completely random is you can bounce this MIDI file a bunch of different times and pick your favorite one. That way when you're actually using this in a song, it's not completely random every time you play it back. So I'm just going to go ahead and bounce this like 5 times. Now you'll see the rhythm is the exact same every time, but the samples it uses are actually different. I don't really like that one. Those two sound too similar. I think I like the second one the best, so I'm going to keep that. So now we can add some more randomization to this fill to make it more interesting. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to drag this same MIDI thing down, and instead of going up in pitch, I'm going to go down in pitch. And now I'm going to load up a new instance of EXS24. I'll make sure it's on mono, and the pitch bend range is at 12 semitones. So now I'm going to go into my sample folders here and just pick a random folder and go to the percussion section. And now I'm going to drag all those percussion hits in. There'll be some overlap down here. I'm just going to delete those so two samples don't play at the same time. Now we have a bunch of percussion hits. So I'm going to randomize those just like I did with the snare. So I'm going to go back to my MIDI effects and add an arpeggiator. And then after that, I'm going to add the randomizer, which is right here. And I'll put in note number again. And I can just exit out of that for now. And now we can choose the rhythm of the percussion. You'll see how it's completely random every time. So I'm going to do the same thing where I bounce like 5 different versions and pick my favorite one. So let's listen to all these random fills it came up with. They won't sound that good on their own, but they'll sound good layered with the snare, I think. That one sounds pretty cool. I'm going to delete the first one because I don't really like those snare sounds in there. Alright, I like these two the best. Let's see how they sound with this. I'm going to add some tremolo just so it kind of moves back and forth between the left and right side. I'm going to add that same tremolo to this track while I'm comparing them. They both sound pretty cool, honestly, but I'm going to go with this one. So that's sounding pretty crazy. I like it a lot. So I'm just going to finish up this fill with kind of a human touch that I would add in a normal song if I was doing this. I need to add some kind of uplifter here. I'm just going to use this one and make sure it's the same length as the fill. I actually kind of want to cut it off early. Right here. And have it start right here. And I'll just fade it in. Maybe we want some kind of clap to end it with. Let's see how this sounds. Maybe add some reverb to it. Maybe add a little reverse clap right before that. I'll reverse that. I'll make it a little shorter so that transient's not in there. I'll just move that down and gain a little bit. Now I have a nice little reverse clap leading into those two claps. So here's the finished fill again. I think it sounds pretty cool. There's so much going on, and I feel like you normally wouldn't be able to come up with a fill like that on your own because there's just too much randomization happening. But this trick is really cool just to mess around with for a while and see what you can come up with. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Spotify below. And other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.